So today we're looking at a piece of hardware that, on paper, seems like a real contradiction in 2026. It's the backbone of almost every modern meeting room, but I bet most people don't even know it has a name. We're talking about the Kramer WP-20-US-B.
Yeah, that is a mouthful of a model number, but what it is really is an active wall plate auto switcher.
An auto switcher.
It's sort of the invisible hand that stops that panic of, I can't get my presentation on the screen before it even starts.
And that's our mission for this deep dive then, figuring out how this one unit manages to bridge the gap between, well, ancient analog tech and the 4K digital demands of today.
Right.
Because if you look at the faceplate, the first thing you notice is the inputs. You got your standard HDMI, sure, but right next to it is a 15-pin HD connector, a VGA port.
It almost looks like a fossil, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, I personally haven't used a VGA cable in probably a decade.
Yeah.
So why is Kramer dedicating space to a dead format on a modern device?
Because in the institutional world, I'm talking universities, government buildings, older corporate headquarters VGA isn't actually dead.
It's just lingering.
It's just lingering, exactly. If you're an installer, you can't just tell a guest lecturer they can't present because they have an old laptop. This device just accepts that reality.
So it handles the handshake between the eras. Okay, talk to me about the auto switching part. Is it just like scanning for any signal?
That's it. It relies on the presence of a video clock signal. So you plug into the HDMI, it claims the screen. If someone else steps in and plugs into the VGA port, it sees that new clock signal and it switches.
Last one in wins, basically.
Usually, yeah. Or you can manually override it.
And looking at the specs here, it's not just passing through a grainy old image. It supports 4K at 60 Hz.
It does, but with 4.2.0 chroma subsampling, which is an important little detail.
What does that mean for you in the room?
It means it's compressing the color information a bit to save on bandwidth. You know, you wouldn't use this to color grade a movie, but for spreadsheets, slide decks, video calls.
The stuff 99% of meetings are made of.
Exactly. It keeps the text perfectly crisp without just clogging the pipe.
Okay, so we've got the signal into the wall. But here's the problem most people don't think about. You can't run a standard HDMI cable 50 feet through a ceiling and expect it to work, right?
No way! Physics gets in the way. Digital signals degrade so fast over copper at that bandwidth, you'd get sparkles, dropouts, or just nothing. A black screen.
So how does this WP-20 get a 4K signal to a projector on the other side of a giant lecture hall?
Ah, that's where the magic comes in. HD Basic T. The output on the back of this thing isn't HDMI. It converts that heavy video signal into a stream that travels over a standard Ethernet cable.
So, to be clear for you listening, this is not video over IP. It isn't writing on the office network with your emails.
That's a great distinction to make. No, it's using the physical Ethernet cable, but a totally proprietary protocol just for video. And the range is, well, it's incredible.
How far are we talking?
In what they call ultra mode, with their special cables, you can push a 1080p signal up to 180 meters. That's almost 600 feet. Even full 4K goes 100 meters.
It definitely solves the distance problem, but active electronics need power. I don't see a power port on this faceplate.
And you won't find a power brick stuffed in the wall behind it either. It's a PoE acceptor.
Power over Ethernet.
Yep. It draws all the electricity it needs from that same Ethernet cable carrying the video.
That's a huge win for a clean installation, isn't it? No need to call an electrician.
It's a game changer for installers.
Now, beyond just moving video, the spec sheet mentions Maestro Room Automation. That sounds a little grand for a wall plate.
It's surprising, right? But they packed a lot of logic in there. Maestro V1.0 is built-in software. It means the wall plate isn't just a passive pipe. It can be a trigger.
A trigger for what?
When it detects a video signal, it can send commands out. Things like lower the projector screen or dim the lights.
So it creates a room on state just by plugging in your laptop.
Precisely. And it also manages the audio. It takes that old analog stereo audio from the 3.5mm jack and injects it right into the digital stream.
It handles the eDIDE management too, so the source and display can talk to each other properly. It's doing so much invisible work.
A lot.
But that brings us to the price tag. The MSRP is listed around $1,100. That feels steep for a plug.
It is, but you have to see it as infrastructure, not some accessory. You're paying for the HDBaseT conversion, the scaling, the automation, the reliability.
Right.
In a big company, a meeting that fails because of a cheap $5 dongle costs way more than this hardware.
So it's professional insurance.
That's the perfect way to put it, exactly.
So here's the thought to leave you with. We're moving to a world where a room's intelligence is just disappearing into the walls.
Yeah.
As devices like this become standard handling our power, our data, our automation, all invisibly do we risk becoming totally helpless the moment the magic wall plate decides to stop working.
That is the trade-off, isn't it? The price of a seamless experience.
Something to mull over. Thanks for diving in with us.